The Tucson is Hyundai's best-selling vehicle, but the best can always get better. The 2025 Hyundai Tucson is far from an all-new vehicle, but it has been updated with some features that iron out a couple of problem areas and get it closer to being the perfect compact SUV. Outside, you'll see the front end has been redesigned with a new grille and lighting arrangements, has the 3 daytime running lights on either side instead of 4, and a little more square-jawed look overall. Behind the grille, you'll find the same naturally aspirated 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine that's rated 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque, which is connected to an 8-speed automatic transmission with either front or all-wheel drive. There are also hybrid and plug-in hybrid versions available, but we're going to be focusing on the standard Tucson today, which has a starting price of $30,000 even for an entry-level SE, and steps up through SEL and XRT trims to this limited, which is $39,940 with front-wheel drive, $41,440 with all-wheel drive, and comes with every option on the list. Tucsons are also all rated to tow up to 2,000 pounds, get 28 miles per gallon combined with front-wheel drive and 26 with all-wheel drive. Much bigger changes can be found here in the cabin, where the entire dashboard has been fully redesigned. Trades the old split instrument cluster and touchscreen display layout for this single frame that has 2 12.3-inch displays built into it, one for the instrument cluster, one for the infotainment system. But more important than that is that while the old Tucson had a panel of touch pads here that were difficult to use while you were driving or even from the passenger seat, they've updated it now with knobs for the volume and tuning and temperature controls, plus this row of physical buttons. There is still a touchpad there with some controls, but it's a much better setup. Hyundai also replaced the push-button transmission selector that used to be here on the center console. In the lower-end models, there's a nice big old-fashioned shift lever, but the Limited gets this knob here, which created room for this wireless charging pad. And even though there's no charger, the passenger gets this shelf that they can put their phone and other things on. The rear seat also has plenty of room for a 6'1" passenger to fit behind a 6'1" driver, and the seats also recline, while the cargo area has a nice deep and long floor and is one of the largest spaces in the compact SUV segment. I hate to stereotype Tucsons, but I have spent thousands of miles in them over the years as rental vehicles, and I've enjoyed every one. Nothing particularly special about them, they're just extremely competent, and this new one feels better than ever. The power is enough, and it is delivered pleasantly, and the ride and handling are great. In fact, I like the way it feels. The steering wheel is a little thinner than a lot of them, and the steering very responsive. The Tucson really is right there at the top of this segment with its corporate cousin, the Kia Sportage, and of course the Honda CR-V. While I am a big fan of this redesign, love the volume and tuning knobs and the temperature controls, still would like to see some more buttons, but these days, take what I can get. Even this all-wheel drive model defaults to front-wheel drive for efficiency, but you do have a button right here that can lock it in all-wheel drive if you're anticipating slippery surfaces. The Limited also has downhill braking assist, a 360-degree camera, and a parking assist that'll steer you into a space. Other electronic driver aids include automatic emergency braking front and rear, blind spot warning system, lane centering system, and adaptive cruise control. So as has been the case with the Tucson, this is very much a feature-filled value, but it's also a very good vehicle, so you're not giving anything up. And it should have no trouble staying Hyundai's bestseller. Oh, and I almost forgot, it's amphibious. At least it could pretend to be. Has this Sounds of Nature feature in the audio system with a selection of ambiances you can choose from, including on a sailing ship. Because who doesn't want to pretend they're on a sailing ship when they're driving a compact SUV? Especially one named after a desert town.